Ah, the forums. What a mess. I've been using the Retro Pizza Zone forum on two different accounts dating all the way back to 2014. It may not sound that long, but man, have I seen lots of crazy stuff going down on the forums. It is not pretty. Lots of fans have the same opinion of mine, some even agree to it with a passion. Many of the older fans feel isolated and avoid contact with many different parts of the fandom due to its unruly forum. This is my story with the forums over the past 4 years, and I'll be putting down what the Retro Pizza staff need to do in order to get their site on the right track. I began to roam around the boards and read on the forums around late 2013, until I made an official account in early 2014. The boards were a calm, peaceful, and leisure place to simply laugh and share discussion about our favorite family entertainment centers. Many different threads were made, and people from all over started to join the board, meeting new online friends. This was actually the place where I first became active in the fandom, and made lots of personal friendships while using the forums. The boards weren't perfect, but it definitely wasn't what it is now. You could share just conversations on your favorite family entertainment centers such as Showbiz Pizza, Chuck E. Cheese's, and even Disney. You could discuss about walkarounds. Performers could share their craziest stories while performing. You could even upload your own art to the boards, which was an amazing feature. I've seen people in this fandom get popular because their art blew up on the forums, and now they have a large following, which I think is pretty cool. I remember a point in time where I would use the forums on a daily basis. I would scan through every subforum and share every opinion I could. I used to average around 10 posts a day. Looking back on that, it may seem a little bit excessive, but the forums back then were like a second home for me. This is where I met all of my online friends, and if it wasn't for Retro Pizza Zone, I would have never found out about the Instagram side of the fandom. I continued using the forums for years to come. However, in 2015, that's when everything started to fall apart. In the fall of 2014, Big Cheese and his channel started, which brought in lots, and I mean lots, of new Chuck E. Cheese enthusiasts. Technically, this wouldn't have been seen as a bad thing. However, at the time, a game called Five Nights at Freddy's was at its prime, and that's partially the reason why his channel blew up so quickly. Now, I am not against Big Cheese or people who play Five Nights at Freddy's. In fact, me and Big Cheese also used to be close friends at one point in time. Unfortunately, this new wave of people being drawn to his channel more or less had a negative impact on the fandom. The age demographic for Five Nights at Freddy's was 12 and under. I have nothing against 12-year-olds by any means, but you can clearly see how this impacted the forums. 12-year-olds and let's say 17-year-olds don't exactly have the same maturity level. They have different mindsets. I'll go more on this topic a little later in this video. With the rising amount of little kids roaming throughout the boards, I continued to use it on a regular basis. If anything, I only used it more because there were more and more people joining. In early 2017, moderator positions opened up. I was obviously one of the first to apply for a position as I felt I would be the perfect fit. I was on the forum every single day. Whenever there was conflict, I usually tended to solve it. I knew the boards in and out. I really wanted that moderator position. Well, luckily the moderators thought I would be the perfect fit for that position too, because they replied to my application and told me that they were interested in having me join the RPZ team. I was so excited. They told me that I needed to get a Skype account so we could all be added to a group call meeting. At the time, I didn't have a Skype account, so I made one that same day. I replied back and told them my new account so they could add me to the call, but they never got back to me. Ever again. Weeks later, they announced the new mods, and the results were someone in the fandom I've never heard of and some guy who has been MIA in the fandom for years. After that incident, I pretty much left the boards completely. Am I jealous that I didn't get the position? Maybe just a little. But I still have good reasonings for not wanting to be back on the forums. I went from not being on the forums at all, from using it almost every single day. I'm not the only one who has stopped using the boards. The forum is practically a wasteland now, and it's a shadow of its former self. I pretty much never use the forums, maybe on a very rare occasion when I'm in desperate need for a show schedule or looking at a stage list, but that's it. Many people feel the same way. I've composed of a 3-part list explaining why the Retro Pizza Zone isn't what it used to be. Number 3. The staff. There was a time where the Retro Pizza staff did go out of their way to make the boards a fun, safe place for everyone. They don't do that anymore. In 2018, the moderators don't do their job, the admins have left completely, there is no longer any order on the platform. The staff get offended when people try and critique their work ethic. Not only are the staff lazy on the forums, but they abuse their power on other platforms. They have threatened to ban people on the forums due to their behavior on Instagram, a completely different social media platform. This obviously makes people not want to use the boards. Number 2, CEC 2.0. Oddly enough, this one made its way on the list, but for a good notable reason. The main presence of the fandom alone is pretty much the entertainment aspect of the restaurants. And once CEC took that away, fans left. Many of the older fans haven't been heard from in the fandom for years because of the way the show resulted. As more shows get ripped out, so does the whole interest part dies. As less fans remain around, it's left lots of inactive accounts. And number 1, the biggest reason I think the boards aren't holding up can't really be summed up in one word. It's a multitude of smaller, similar issues. Like I was stating earlier in this video, lots of younger kids entered the fandom, and when they did, they headed to the boards. This had problem in its own, because technically you had to be 14 or older to even register alone, but that clearly didn't stop anyone from illegally forging their age. This ties directly in with the forums. Lots of spam was created. Posts were posted in the wrong threads. Rumors were started about stage removals, or even complete lies were passed on as factual. This portion of the fandom's immaturity definitely doesn't only apply to the forums, but the fandom as a whole, and can be seen everywhere. However, I've came across more drama on the boards in 1 month than my 3 years of being on Instagram. So what do I think the staff should do in order to fix their site? Honestly, I think it may be a little too late to fix all of their issues because the damage has already been done and most older fans already have grown a bad stigma. I do, however, think there are some ways to do something to get at least some order on the site again. Hire more staff. A lot of the time while I was on the boards, I saw the admins complaining that they didn't have enough time to solve certain issues on the site because of their busy lifestyle, and that they were volunteering their time. I don't think this would have been as big as an issue if they had more people on their team helping out. As of right now, I feel safe to say that the current staff is too small to handle of the bigger issues that roam on the forums. I see little to no progress being done, which, not to blame of the staff themselves, I understand that they have lives outside of the fandom, but they should recruit people who actually do have the time to improve the forums. This would include enforcing the rules. Banned users should not be able to quickly just hop back on the boards under a fake name and a swapped gender. But hey, if you guys are looking for more recruits, you know where to find me. It's unfortunate that this was the turnout for the online forums. They used to be fun. Now it's a place I don't even want to be. And ever since they switched from Zeta boards to that new Tapatalk crap, I don't see myself voluntarily ever using the site again. With this being said, I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, then I would greatly appreciate it if you like this video and subscribe if you're not already. Did I miss anything? Share your thoughts using the hashtag MakeRPZ Great Again. I'll see you all in the next video.